If you're outsourcing your Google Ads, then this video is for you. Not because you're doing anything wrong by outsourcing. In actual fact, outsourcing your Google Ads is a good thing because your Google Ads should be in the hands of professionals who generate leads for businesses every single day. However, here's the big problem. A lot of people outsource their Google Ads without knowing what good looks like. So when your marketing agency tells you you've had a good month last month, right? You've spent this much, then how do you know? Because you're just taking their words for it. So what you need to do is that you don't need to become an expert in Google Ads. What you do need to do, you need to understand how Google Ads works so you can ask them the right questions. Because if you don't know what questions to ask them, you could be losing money every single day, and it doesn't matter how many inquiries you're getting. You might be thinking, hey, we're getting 10 inquiries a day or 15 inquiries a day, and that's good. But how do you know whether there's room for more inquiries? How do you know there's room for cut your costs by 30, 40, 50%? Because in a lot of cases, when we take on campaigns from other agencies, then we identify so many gaps within Google Ads campaigns whereby customers are losing inquiries simply because they didn't know what good looks like. So in this video, I want to tell you around about 9 different things that you need to be looking out for if you're running a Google Ads campaign, but if somebody else is looking after it for you, either a freelancer or a marketing agency, or even somebody internal to your company, because it could be that your marketing manager is looking after it, but as the company owner, as the CEO, or as the company director, you need to still understand that, hey, where's our money going? Could we be doing better? Could we be getting more inquiries? Could we reduce our costs? What are the Google Ads strategies we should be using, which we're not using? So let's get on with the show. Let me explain to you the things that you need to be looking out for and asking your agencies various questions to make sure that you're getting the most out of every single dollar that you're spending. Point number 1 is leads. What is a lead? Now, your agency or your reports might tell you you've got 10 leads, but what is a lead? So you need to be sure that you've properly defined what a lead is, because in your case, a lead could be a phone call, or it could be somebody's filling in an inquiry form or a contact form or a booking form or booking a space into your calendar. So you need to be absolutely black and white that the reports that you're getting, you've told your agency or whoever's looking after your Google Ads campaign that what type of lead that we want. Because a lot of businesses might say, hey, we convert better when somebody phones us. So we want phone call leads. We don't want just clicks or visits to a page, because that doesn't mean anything, right? So you need to be absolutely sure that your agency understands what your definition of a lead is. It could be that we want somebody to book into our calendar. Great, then your report should be showing, well, how many people are booked into your calendar or how many people have phoned you. So that's the first thing that you need to make sure that you're measuring the correct type of lead that is good for your business. The second one is one campaign is doing everything. And what I mean by that, it's a very common issue that we see. So what a lot of agencies do to make their life easy, they make their life easy, not yours, is they bundle everything into one campaign. So they only have to manage one campaign, because you could have a brand campaign whereby you want a company name to be known, or you could have a campaign whereby you're offering emergency services, or it could be that you've got product or a service that you're selling on a regular basis or you want to promote. But what companies do is that they bundle everything into one campaign, and that's what they report on. So a question for you to your agency is, tell me which campaigns that we got. Tell me, we've got 5 different services. Tell me, do you have a campaign for each of these services, especially if they're a different service? For example, if you're a plumber, it could be that you do boiler repairs, you do heating, you do gas inspections, and so on. So in this case, you should have at least 3 different campaigns as an absolute minimum. And then that's how you should be measured. So you could need to make sure that you're asking your company, tell me which campaigns that we got, and tell me how these campaigns map to the individual services that we're promoting, because if you're not doing that, then again you could be losing a lot of money, because bundling everything into one campaign is one of the worst things you can ever do, because you got no control over maintaining a budget. For example, if you are selling a boiler, then or you're doing boiler servicing or boiler repairs, it could be a high value item. But if you're doing, for example, gas inspections or CP12s or landlord certificates, you could only be making £30 as opposed to like £500, but you're bundling everything into one campaign. So make sure you've got separate campaigns for each one of your services, and you know which campaigns that your agency is running for you. Point number 3 is, where are your ads showing? Where are they actually showing? So what I mean by that is that you could have a business based in Birmingham, for example, but if you're only serving people in Birmingham, what good is it that your ads are showing in London, which might be 100 miles away, because those customers are very unlikely to come to you. So you need to ask your agency that, show me where our ads are actually coming from. Where are the inquiries coming from? Because it could be that you're getting 100 inquiries or 100 clicks, let's say, every week. But if 50% of them are coming from locations that are outside where you serve, then that's 50% of your budget that's been totally wasted. You're never going to get that money again. You're never likely to convert those inquiries or clicks into inquiries and into customers. So you need to make sure that when your reports come through, they show you where your ads are being shown, and you can then control it. But not only where they're being shown, but what you can do, you can tell your agency that I do not want my ads to be shown in this specific town or city. So I might want it shown within this county, or like, let's say, for example, West Midlands, but I don't want it to be shown in, let's say, for example, Walsall, as an example. And what your agency can do, they can exclude that area from your campaigns. And as a result of that, your budget is now going towards the areas that you're more likely to get customers in. And these strategies are helping you to cut your cost and get more inquiries. In fact, everything I'm telling you today, it's about how you can save money from your business by understanding Google Ads, and what it's ultimately doing is saving you money. You're spending less money, but you're getting more conversions, you're getting more leads, more phone calls, more inquiries, and your agency will respect you for that, because you're now asking the right qualified questions. Guys, before I carry on, if you want to know more about Google Ads, first thing you can do, there's 2 things that you can do. In the comments box below, just write in it Google Ads or even Google, and what I will do is I'll send you my guide and checklist that what you need to be asking your agency to say, hey, is our Google Ads campaign running correctly? I've even got a pre-made email in there which you can send, copy and paste, send over to your agency or your marketing manager or your freelancer saying, can you please answer these questions? And that would help you to get a good qualified report and help you to increase your conversions. The other thing you can do, I understand that Google Ads can be a complete minefield. Like, who do you believe? Who do you trust? What do you do? What's right? What's wrong? And you don't want to get involved in the technicalities. In which case, in the description box below, there's a link to my calendar. You can book a call with me specifically or a member of my team to say, hey AJ, can you conduct us a free marketing audit? So we'll look at your Google Ads account, we'll tell you everything that you're doing right, where the opportunities are, where you can grow, where you can get more leads, where you can get more sales, and where, more importantly, you can cut costs. Because I guarantee you, in almost every single campaign that we look at, we identify so many opportunities for growth for a business. Because sometimes what happens, agencies sometimes get a bit complacent because they know that nobody else is going to look at it. So it's worthwhile getting an independent audit done, not because you want to alienate your current agency. It's just so that you've got a fresh pair of eyes to say, hey, look at our Google Ads campaign and tell us what's going right and what's going wrong. Let's carry on with the next point of view, which is absolutely crucial. Has your agency ever discussed landing pages with you? Now, the chances are a lot of agencies don't, because it's more work on their side. What is a landing page? A landing page is a page that is specifically designed for one purpose or one service, but it's got one objective behind it. In other words, that, for example, you could have a landing page for, if you're a car garage, it could be for MOTs. Now, we take people to, if somebody's typing in MOT near me, then we will take them to the MOT page, and that page has only got text in it and images and information about MOT. So it's focused, it's laser focused. And it's got one call to action, either phone or book a time to schedule your MOT with us or call us. The advantage of a landing page is again, when somebody's searching for something, they're taken to a page. They're not taken to a page whereby they've got to work out where on the website to go, where to click on. It's taken them directly to that page. Then what happens, you get a higher conversion rate. You see more people booking into your business, or you're getting more leads, more inquiries, simply because you've made it easy for people to work out what your services do by taking them directly to what they're looking at. Think about it. If you're in a shop, for example, and you want a jumper, you could be inside the shop wandering around for ages. So where's the jumper section, right? Whereas if somebody comes to you and says, hey, there's the jumpers over there, you go straight to that section without wasting time on everything else, and you're more likely to get the jumper that you want, or look into the range of jumpers that they've got, simply because you're now there rather than browsing around the whole shop or the stores. So make sure your agency is discussing landing pages with you for each individual service. So if you've got 5 different services, ideally you want 5 different landing pages. Now, in addition to having more landing pages, what they should be doing is they should be doing something called A/B testing on your landing pages. If you haven't heard the word A/B testing, again, it's alarm bells, and you need to ask your agency, why have you not mentioned A/B testing? A/B testing is a way of saying, hey, we've already got a landing page here, that's version A, but if we make some changes, got version B, how would the conversion rates go up, right? So if we make some minor changes to the second page, can we do a test, so your current page versus the new page, to get more inquiries? And if you do, then your agency will tell you that the second page, yes, you've had an increase of 15%, therefore let's make that the main page. So it's really important to do A/B testing on your landing pages. And these are all fundamentals that business owners need to understand in order to make sure that their money is being well used and it's not being wasted on ads whereby it's just totally gone to waste, or people are not inquiring, or people are not calling your business. So make sure that you understand what your landing pages are, and your agency or your freelancer or your marketing guru is conducting A/B testing with you, and they're reporting it to you, that what the differences are between the various pages. Let's get on to the next point, which is equally as important. Point number 5 is search terms. What search terms is your business being searched for? And what I mean by that is, when you're running a Google Ads campaign, your agency will give Google a whole load of keywords like plumber near me. But what Google will do is it will look at plumbers near me, and depending on various things, it will think, oh, okay, well, someone's typing in plumbers for free, for example, and it means the same thing, because they're looking for a plumber, they're looking for a plumber. That's search terms. So what we give to Google are keywords, what Google shows are search terms. You need to make sure you know what search terms your ads are being shown for, because you could be wasting a whole load of ads, because a whole lot of budget. Because what happens is that in those search terms, in this case, plumbers for free, you could make the word free. You could tell Google that if someone types in the word free, I never want my ad to be shown because I charge for my services. So we can exclude that from the campaign, and technically it's called a negative keyword. So not only do you need to understand the keywords that your ads are being shown for, but you need to equally and more importantly understand the search terms that your ads are being shown for, because that's where your money is going to start leaking out, and that's where you can start saving money by understanding what your search terms are, not just your keywords. So what your agency can do is pull off a report to show you, hey, in the last 7 days or in the last 30 days, we gave Google these keywords, but your ads were actually shown for these keywords here, or these search terms. And what we've done, here's the important point, what we've done is that we've either accepted these search terms, or we've told Google that we never want that search term to be shown again, and we don't want to pay a penny for those search terms, because that's where a lot of budget gets burnt out, because people are not keeping an eye on their search terms. So make sure you do that. Let's get on to the next point. The next point is controlling your budget. I see this in a lot of cases. What happens is your budget is being split up too thin, too many services. For example, you've got one budget, and your budget could be, let's say, for example, £50 a day, but you've got about 10 different services. So that means the first service or campaign is getting like £3 a day allocated to it. The second one's getting about £3, the third one's getting £3 or whatever. And that's not good. That's not going to work for you, because that's another way of burning your budget fast and not getting inquiries. You need to make sure that ideally what you want to do is you want to make sure that every single campaign, you know what the budget is. If you've got 3 different campaigns, the budget for campaign A is this, the budget for campaign B per month is this, and the budget for campaign C is this per month. It's really important to do that, because then you're making each campaign work independently, and you can monitor the success of each campaign, because it could be that some of your services could be low-cost services. For example, you could do MOT, for example. Now in MOT, you could be spending, let's say, £50 a day, but you might be charging your customers £30 per service. So your budget is £50 a day, but it could be that you're only charging £30 a day. But then you might have another campaign, it's £50 a day, but you're charging, like, let's say, for example, gearbox repairs, and you could be charging someone £500 a day, but you're allocating the same budget. So if you're making £500, surely you should be spending more money on that, because you're going to get a bigger ROI. You can make more profit on that, or your brakes, or whatever you decide. So make sure that you properly understand where your budget is going, and don't have too many campaigns. If you do want more campaigns, what your agency should be telling you is, okay, fair enough, I'll create a new campaign for you. What's your budget for that campaign? So if you want to target a new area, a new geographical area, or a new service, really, you're supposed to be having a new campaign unless it logically makes sense to put that new service into one of the existing campaigns, or even ad groups, so to speak, right? But if you understand this, you can ask your agency these questions. And the impact of this is each campaign is now working a lot more efficiently, because it's got its own budget. You can then measure something called your cost per lead individually. So for example, if you've got an MOT campaign, you could be, if you're spending £100 and you're getting 2 leads, then you know that 100 divided by 2 is 50. So each lead is costing you £50 per lead, as an example. And the second campaign and third campaign and so on. So you're not leaving everything in the hands of your agency or your freelancer or whoever's doing your marketing campaign. Now you're understanding the maths behind your campaigns. So make sure your budget is not spread out too thinly, and you've got budgets for each individual campaign where it logically makes sense. Understand your reports. Now this is a big one. It's a massive one, because what happens is agencies have got a notorious reputation for sending huge reports, like 20-30 page reports with flashy charts and all the pie charts and colors and everything else, and full of waffle. Most of it means nothing, and most of them don't even tell you the right things that they should be telling you. Now, your reports should be straightforward and simple to understand. They should be telling you essentially what you want to know is how much have we spent, how many leads or inquiries have we got, and what's been the cost per lead or the cost per sale. If you've got those 3 metrics, you know, okay, I've spent £100 and I've got 10 leads from it. Therefore, the cost per lead is £10 per lead. So that's the core metric that you need to understand at a very high level. You go into a bit more detail, you then need to understand, okay, let's now break it down by campaign level. Remember earlier on, I told you that we need to not only understand, by having all the campaigns into one campaign, you need to have separate campaigns. Now, what you should be able to do is per campaign, you should be able to say that we spent this much on this campaign, we spent £50 on this campaign, we got 3 leads from it, and so therefore 50 divided by 3 is this. My maths is really poor, it's about 16, 17 pounds. Do you know that your cost per lead on that is 17 pounds or whatever it is? Campaign B, we spent this much on it, and we've got this many leads from it, and so on. So it's really important to understand that what your reports look like, and if you're not getting these pieces of information from your reports, then you need to tell your agency to, hey, give us this information, because I need to properly measure what's going on, how many calls I'm getting, where the leads are coming from, what location they're coming from, what are the search terms, what are the keywords that you've got, what's the work that you've done, what's the strategy for next month that you're going to implement into my marketing campaign. Now again, guys, if you want to understand more, just comment the word Google and I'll give you the actual checklist that you should be using as a business owner or a director or a marketing manager to understand, are your Google Ads campaigns working for you properly, or are they just draining your budget? There's also a pre-written emails in there which you can simply copy and paste and send straight over to your agency. And by the way, if you do like this content of the channel, and if you're watching it so far, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and just put a comment to say which of these strategies so far that you like the most. Because by subscribing to this channel, you help me to get this video out to more people just like yourself, business owners. And I'm putting all this work into it. Do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button now, please. Thank you. Now let's move on to the next strategy, and that is tracking. Is your tracking set up properly? Now, what tracking is, it's a way of measuring the success of your campaign. How many people have filled in a form, a booking form, an inquiry form? How many people have called you? Then you can get really good detailed reports. A lot of companies will say that we've got tracking set up, but the only way to tell is if you're getting proper reports. So every single conversion is set up so you can see that from the report, we've had 50 clicks, or our ad was shown 1,000 times, and out of 1,000 times we had 100 clicks, and out of the 100 clicks we've had 10 inquiries. That is all done by tracking. So make sure your tracking is set up properly, because by setting up tracking properly, you can then better measure the success of your marketing campaigns. Whoever's running your Google Ads campaign, where the traffic's coming from, what locations it's coming from, and also it'll do things like you can do something called retargeting. If your tracking is set up properly, retargeting is if somebody's come to your website and they've gone off your website without inquiring, you can show ads on other platforms to bring them back again. So you've probably seen that, you've probably gone to a blog and then seen something, hey, I visited that website before. So, and then you click on it, it takes you back to the website. That's called retargeting. So make sure your tracking is set up properly. Guys, keep watching. We're almost toward the end. Some really important stuff that we're going to cover. So just keep watching. Point number 9 is no independent opinion. Now, again, I have suggested that, if you're interested, then get in touch with us and we'll do an audit. An audit is absolutely essential because, like I explained earlier, sometimes agencies get a bit more relaxed and they stop seeing where the improvements can be made. But if you give it a fresh pair of eyes, you could easily get an increase in conversions of 15 to 20%. And we've seen that time and time again. And it's not because your agency is necessarily doing anything bad. It's just because you're getting an independent pair of eyes saying, hey, what about this? What about this? And here's some other opportunities. So book yourself an independent audit from someone completely different. And if you want us to do your audit, just let us know, fill in the calendar link below and we'll do you a free audit, 20-minute audit. We'll look at your Google Ads account and we'll tell you exactly what's going right, what's going wrong, and where the opportunities are to get you more leads into your business, to make your business more in demand, so your business is being shown compared to your competitors. We'll also discuss other strategies that you can be using to get more inquiries flowing into your business on a regular, consistent basis. So make sure you get an independent audit of your Google Ads account, a free marketing audit, which will be absolutely invaluable to you. The last point is, okay, we're doing Google Ads, and Google Ads is about 50-60% of the market are using it. But hey, how about the other percentage? How about Microsoft Ads? Okay, now with Microsoft Ads, for example, you can get clicks at a lower cost per click, even though it only covers about 10 to 15% of the market. But now you're capturing the people who are using Microsoft Ads or Bing, as they call it, compared to Google. So make sure you're not only just isolating yourself to Google, but you're looking at other paid platforms as well to get a whole stream of inquiries and leads flowing into your business. Guys, I know that it's quite a long video. I've covered a lot. If you're still unsure about which way to go, if you don't know what to do, if you want to know about other strategies, even free strategies that you can use to get more leads into your business, organic, whether it be Google Maps, SEO, lead generation, and there's so many more things that you can do to get more leads flowing into your business. Even if you want your website rebuilt or better converting pages, click the link below. Schedule a time to talk to either myself or a member of my team, and we can guide you into other strategies that you can use to get more business flowing into, more inquiries flowing into your business. So click on the link below, and do remember, guys, do subscribe to this channel, because like I said, we do a lot of work to build this type of channel. We do a lot of energy to build these videos, and what would be really great is people can hit the subscribe button to support us to keep this channel going, to help business owners to get more inquiries, more leads flowing into their business. Goodbye, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.